Hi everyone, this is the Scan Story. My name is Jolt. I want to show you in this video how I will scan this place. Let's get started. As you can see, this place has just been demolished and it's under construction. It's waiting for the interior designer to finish the design so they can start renovating it. They have tasked me as a 3D scanning specialist to scan the place for the interior designs so they know the location of everything. And it's always a good idea to scan a place when it is basically turned inside out, because then you can see all the cables, all the pipe connections, and you can conserve everything how it was before the renovation, which serves as a valuable information going forward. As you can see, I have a backpack in which I have the Matterport Pro 3 scanner. I have an additional light because there are some dark rooms over there, so I will need some additional lighting. And I also bought the tripod, of course. So let's unpack everything. Alright, now I have unpacked everything. All I need to do now is to turn it on. So just gonna press the button here. Yeah, the battery sign, and now we see the Matterport sign. And of course I have my iPad with me, and it's the best if you have this neck strap because it makes your life much easier. Just you can kind of hang on your side and you can move around freely. Next, I needed to set up the job on the iPad, and I also paired the iPad with the scanner. And I'm going to start from the entrance. When you're doing a Matterport scan for design purposes, it's really important to, when you come to a part where you would otherwise miss, you really need to think how to scan things, not to miss anything. So for example, here we have this little wall inset, and it has all the cables and electrical boxes inside and whatnot. And you really want to position the scanner in the middle, make sure that it captures all of the inside of this wall closet as well. So this way we can get the full 3D scan of the interior. And now it's time to put the light on. We are here at the last bit, and I also wanted to show you a similar thing that I had shown earlier, but I have the scanner here. I have this little wall corner right over there, and I put the scanner just into the corner so that we don't miss any parts from inside this little corner. If you check the iPad screen, you can clearly see that little corner part that I'm trying to capture with this last scan. So let's get it. Yay, job done. I always double check if I missed any part, so I just look at the overall distribution of the scan points on the layout, and if I see any sparse places, I usually go back and make a few more scans just to make sure, because it doesn't take too much time really. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish those last remaining scans and then we're done. And we'll get back home and I show you how it looks like on the Matterport site, and how the point cloud is getting cleaned up and sent to the client. By the way, if you're into this kind of content, feel free to give this video a like and subscribe. I just started this channel and I plan to share more projects like this down the line, dig deeper into scanning in general for architectural and other purposes using photogrammetry, budget gear, drones, LiDAR sensors, different technologies, so like scanning in general. I'm mainly focusing on architectural scans right now, building scans, but another huge topic for me is diving into 3D asset creation for video games and VFX. This is especially something I want to learn a lot about and do some videos about creating some of those assets. And I'd like to improve myself by doing it and showing you the results. And because of that, I'd be really happy if you left a comment, gave some feedback about my work, or if you're more into this topic, more knowledgeable, then I'd really appreciate if you gave me some advice. Alright, now let's take a look at the final results. First up, on the Matterport site, you can open the virtual tour, and this will take you to the explore mode or walk mode, with which you can freely explore the space, just like walking through it in real life. The mechanics are basically identical to Google Street View. Then you can switch to the floor plan view, so this gives you a clear overhead perspective that's great for understanding the overall layout and the orientation, especially useful in early planning stages when you can just extract this floor plan as is and start ideating with the design if you are doing an interior design project. And then there's the 3D view, or the dollhouse mode, which gives you a full spatial understanding of how walls, floors, and rooms relate to each other. So it's one of the best ways to visualize a complex or a fragmented spaces like this one. It's a good tool to quickly double check your work on pretty much any device, easily accessible as well. Look at these ducts. It's cool that you can see all this detail here. Now let's move to the design side of things, where we can work with the raw point cloud data generated from the scan. This is a three-dimensional reference of the entire space, and it forms the base for creating the existing model in the design software. I'm using ArchiCAD here, but you can open it in any other BIM or CAD tool like Revit or Vectorworks. You can also fine-tune and cut this point cloud in an open source app called Cloud Compare, which is extremely useful and really powerful. We'll take a look at it in another video in the future. So you can still slice this point cloud in the design software by using horizontal slices through the point cloud. We can basically extract the floor plan at any elevation. We can set the size and position of the slice by setting up the height for it. You can see the zigzag areas like this one here that would be extremely hard to measure manually. You can see the outline and the layout clearly here. Note that this in itself is not suitable for full documentation. It's good for early design, so you could take a screenshot of this and start doing the early design, but to create accurate drawings and the final design with useful data in it, you will need to recreate the model with parametric objects. This will allow you to extract the data like building material quantities and produce a final construction documentation, stuff like that. But with this method, with the 3D scanning, it's like 100 times easier than just relying on manual measurements and putting it on a piece of paper.
It's much more precise and much quicker. Then we can also cut vertical sections wherever needed. This will reveal details like these arched openings or changing ceiling lines and floor heights. Here you can also see the size of the ventilation ducts, for example. For a project like this, where much of the interior is irregular or partially demolished, this makes an enormous difference in capturing reality. Also, you can clearly see where are the pipe outlets and electric cable boxes on the wall and all that, so you can accurately prepare for the design for the as-built without too much surprise during the actual construction on site. And the beauty of this workflow is that all of this works together. While you're modeling, you can always jump back to the virtual tour to check details and other conditions of the building in high resolution. The 360 images give you visual context, and the point cloud gives you a precise foundation for the modeling part. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.